Once upon a time there was a large kingdom that was magnificent and had a large population. The people who live there live in harmony and peace. The king of this kingdom had many daughters. The king's youngest daughter is known to have a very beautiful face, much prettier than her older siblings. Not only beautiful, the princess is also known as someone who is brave, insightful and likes to explore new things. The princess really likes to play in the forest. One day, the princess was playing in a forest. He plays a game of catch the ball. He threw his favorite golden ball and then tried to catch it again. Several times he managed to catch it, but suddenly bad luck struck him. The golden ball could not be caught and even fell into the river deep enough so that the princess could not retrieve it. When the princess was sad, a voice that sounded quite close appeared. The voice said, "Hey, why are you sad?" The princess tried to find the source of the sound while answering that the reason she was sad was because her golden ball fell into the river and she couldn't pick it up. The voice also said that he would help the princess retrieve the golden ball. But there are conditions. The princess asked, "What are the conditions?" The voice also explained that the conditions were that the princess must be willing to eat with him, drink in the same glass with him and sleep in the princess's bed together. Without thinking, the princess agreed to these conditions. The voice also took the princess' golden ball, and after the ball was taken, only then did the princess know that the voice that gave her the conditions earlier was a frog. The princess was very surprised, but because it was already evening, and she was afraid that the palace guards and her father would look for her, she said goodbye to going home. The next morning, the frog came to the palace to collect the promise the princess had made to him. The frog called the princess from outside the window and hoped the princess would open the door for him. The princess was very nervous with the presence of that sound. However, the father, who also heard the same voice, advised the princess to open the door. The daughter obeyed her father's words and opened the door. But he closed it again. The father, who felt his daughter was strange, of course asked, "Who is outside? Why did you close the door again and not let me in?" The princess answered and finally explained what she had experienced, her promise to someone who turned out to be a frog and everything that had happened. Hearing the princess's story, her father advised the princess, who had already promised, to try to keep her promise first. The princess opened the door again and invited the frog to come in. The princess also said that she would keep her promise. The princess started eating with the frog, drank from the same glass and went to her room. When the frog got on the bed and asked for the third requirement to be completed, the princess threw the frog and it bounced against the wall. Instantly the bouncing frog turned into a handsome prince. "What happened?" said the princess. The frog, who was the incarnation of a prince, explained what happened to him. The prince fell in love with the princess and so did the princess. Finally the two married and lived happily. Moral of fictional children's stories: the princess and the frog prince. Whatever promises you have made, however, you must try to keep them. Don't make promises if you can't keep them. Moreover, promises that bring bad consequences to people who make promises should never be made, and start making good promises.